Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I will show you how to use a spray gun. So today we are going to be upcycling these bedside tables using my Wagner very basic spray gun, and I will show you all the tricks and tips on how to use the spray gun. So let's get started. So let's start this video by putting together this Wagner spray tent. I bought this a few months ago, but I haven't used it before because I was mostly using small amounts of paint, so I was just hand painting, and to be fair, I was a bit nervous of using it and putting it together because I didn't know how to do it. And as you may see, it took me a long time to put it together. It took me about 25 minutes, but please trust me, it doesn't take that long once you know what you're doing. It only takes about 5 minutes and it's really easy to put together, and they made it so that you can't really mess it up. But let's just watch me putting this together and I will explain why it took me this long. So, it took me a while to figure out how to put this together, but it's actually not as difficult to put it together. The poles that are holding the tent is actually all tied together, so you don't have to figure out what goes where. And so essentially these are all in one big piece, which you can just detach from each other. So that wasn't difficult. Both the poles are the same, so you can't mix up which one is going to the back and which one is going to the front. I think what messed me up a bit is I imagined that I would need to run through the poles in the sleeve, that the sleeve goes around, but the only sleeve that there is on the top and is the same section at the back as well. So that's the only one that you need to run it through. And I have also messed up one step. That's why I was struggling to put in the last corner, because first I need to run the pole around and secure the corners, and then I need to hook on the little hooks onto the pole. So it's important to make sure that when you're putting this together, you go through the order that it says you should go in. And one second, I wanted to show you guys how clever it is of Wagner. By the way, this is not a sponsored video at all. I wish. I'm not that big of an account. But this is really clever. What they did is, well, this is not a paper actually. This is more like a plasticky paper material, so it's durable. Even if you get water on it, it's not going to damage the text that's on it. And also they sew it to the bag. Let me show you close up. They sew this to the bag, sorry. So you can't lose it, which is brilliant, and it's all in one. And again, last, let me show you how big this is. I mean, I'm standing and my head just touches the top, and like, look, this is big. I can lay in it and I still got plenty of room. So yeah, this is pretty brilliant. So one of the most important things when we are spray painting is to make sure that the paint is stirred up properly. For that, I'm usually just using a butter knife that I'm obviously not using in the kitchen, and you will want to mix it up with some water. Well, you would want to make enough so that it's going to cover at least 2 coats of the paint, because if you don't remember correctly to the ratio of the paint and the water, the second time you mix it up, it might end up being a different color. So I usually just try and do as much as I think will be enough for painting it at least twice. So I'm using, as you can see, this Frenchic al fresco paint in Cool Beans color, and I'm gonna try and show it to you that this is really thick paint. So what I would do is I would just pour in probably until around this line here of the paint, and after that I'm gonna add some water and just see how the consistency looks like. So for the test spraying, I am using this cardboard box, and what I will do is I will just spray the paint on it. This way I can adjust how much of the paint I want it to come out of the sprayer, so basically the paint flow, and I can also see if there is any like splotches. If it's still a bit splotchy, then it means that the paint is still too thick, so you will want to water it further down. But you have to make sure that you do this step, don't skip it, because when you are cleaning it, you always change the adjustments of the paint flow, so that you will always need to reset it before you are spraying on the furniture, because believe me, you don't want to mess it up on the furniture. You will want to make sure that it is going on the furniture perfectly. So I'll just do that now. So because I was happy with how the flow of the paint, I went ahead and just did the spray painting. When you water it down, you want to make sure, when you water the paint down, you want to make sure that you are doing very thin coats and you allow plenty of time for the furniture and for the paint to dry. and you will just want to do a couple of more coats than you would normally do. But as you can see, this is not a sped up video. It took me less than 1 minute to give 1 coat of paint to these bedside tables. So for now, just go around and make sure that you haven't oversprayed, because if you did, you can still correct it with a brush. Tip, it's always handy to have a brush by your side. And then just let it dry. It will dry very quickly, especially if it's a nice weather, and just give it a few more coats. Another tip is that in between the coats, you can keep the paint in this container. It won't be any problem because it's sealed. What you would want to do is remove this sprayer head, because while it dries, the paint will also dry on the sprayer head. So when next time you're coming back to spray paint, the paint can come out really splotchy. So yes, you should probably just remove it. So I'm just going to do that now as well. So now that the spraying is mostly done, I want to show you guys how smooth the finish is. You can still see the wood grain of the furniture through the paint. I mean, look at that. This is really nice and smooth paint. It will still need some work, but that will be for another video, because in this video all I wanted to show you guys is what you can achieve with a paint sprayer. And as you can see, it has painted the surface really smoothly. Okay, next let's talk about how to clean your spray gun. Please don't mind this area, because this is where I'm usually cleaning my brushes and spray guns, so this always gets a bit dirty. Because I'm still going to use this paint, I will not use this container for the cleaning. I will instead use this jug of water. So what you need to do is make sure that you don't have this plugged in. Unscrew the bottom of it, and normally I would completely empty this of the paint, put some water in it and some washing up liquid, pull it back on and turn on the machine and run the water through the machine. But as I said, because I'm still saving this paint for tomorrow, I am using this jug instead of this container. So all I will want to do is I will put this here and I will connect it to the plug. And just like that, I'll turn this. For this nozzle, again, you need to do the same thing. You just use this jug of water and just scrub this area. I use just a strong brush. You could possibly use a wire brush, but I would advise against it, because you don't want to damage these tiny pores here. So I would just say use this regular brush. You could probably use like a toothbrush as well to remove it. You always want to make sure that you also clean these little holes here. I hope you guys can see, because this is where the air flows, and this is what directs the paint that comes out from this little nozzle here. And if there is any paint stuck in these side holes where the air comes out from, then you're going to end up with splotches. Additionally, you can also take this bit off, like so, and you can give this a clean. And you can also remove the paint from here. And with that, you have a clean spray gun. So we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to teach you something about spray painting. It's not as difficult, but you do have to make sure that you pay attention to details. And with that being said, the next thing I will have to do after this video is I will need to fix these ones, because obviously I did overspray as well, and there was a bit of a runny paint on them, but this is how it is usually. But it doesn't take a long time to fix the mistakes that you make with it, especially because these spray guns are so quick. I was literally able to spray these bedside tables within 1 minute, which is just insane. So if you got any more questions, or if you got any questions about spray painting, please do send me a comment or send me a message. I will try and answer it. I'm not an expert, but I'm just trying to do my best. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful next week, and I'll see you guys in about a few weeks' time. Thank you!